Hello my friends, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting a gloomy spring scene inspired by javier.zorilla.salcedo. I'll just write it in the description. So this looks to me like a typical day somewhere in England. Very gloomy. Beautiful green pastures, but very gloomy. So, as usual, we're going to have a one or two very focused aspects that are going to make the whole abstractness of it, the abstract background, come alive, and people will know what you have painted based on that. So, I like to work with bigger brushes for the background to give us a more abstract feel, because if you use detailed brushes, actually I don't even know what size I used in previous abstract paintings, so I might just be saying things. But we're going to start off with painting like the river bank or whatever this is. So about 2/3 down you're painting in landscape position. I've taken brown, and I want way more pigment than that. Hold on. Mix it with a little bit of black, and we're just painting. Oops, should have left a little more like that gap than this gap, but that's okay. It's supposed to be abstract, so we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna take a green, paint that on top. And I'm gonna actually take maybe a little bit of yellow and just add that up here and over here as well. And then I'm gonna take like a nice lime green and just fill in this portion. And then I'm gonna take like a bluish gray and just paint a line diagonally, like not really diagonally, but just a line like this. And then I'm gonna join some using brown there. I have no idea what these aspects are. I know this is like a lush green pasture, but everything else, no idea. We're just following what I see here. Now, I don't even know what color that is. That is just a jumble of colors. So I think I'm gonna take maybe like brown and gray for this. Water it down heavily so we can do this top section, and then it seems to fade into a blue, but a very gloomy blue. Okay. So that, I hope that was on the camera, because I just realized maybe the corner wasn't. Now for this bottom part, I want to, I'm going to add just water for now. I'm going to take some of, oops, that is way too dark, that bluish gray, and add that to the bottom here. Like this. And looking at this now, I want this brown that we painted to be darker. So this is actually where I can switch to a smaller brush so I can get more detail work in, because we've already addressed like the background. We're all good there. Take even more black. Just add that. And I'm gonna take, I know I'm not explaining things as well, I'm just kind of painting and going with it, but it's because when I stop and think about my abstract paintings, they turn out not being abstract. So I'm just trying to like go without thinking. I have a very thin brush here, and I have black on my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna have some like lines coming down while this bottom section is still wet. That is the idea. We want it to spread out a tiny bit because I want it to look like it's blurry, because this is supposed to be water, by the way. So trying to create kind of like this reflection. We're going to paint trees up here later. And you can even take a bit of blue or whatnot and just like add some horizontal lines through those trees. Okay, where are we in our painting process here? I do want to add some trees, so I'm going to take brown, and hopefully this is still wet up here, otherwise it's going to cauliflower. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. So I'm just adding some trees above that gray line that we painted that has sort of faded into nothing at the moment. So that's all right. And I'm going to add orange. Oh, that is not orange, that is yellow. To those tree areas. I don't like how that looked. Let's kind of blend. No, let's pick up brown and drop brown back in there over top. Okay, so right now this looks like a whole lot of nothing. This, I don't like what happened here. It cauliflowered out. Cauliflowering is my nemesis. So I'm just going over this with water, trying to blend out that cauliflower effect. And to prevent it from cauliflowering further, I'm just taking toilet paper and just drying it out, dabbing it, and then it has no like opportunity to cauliflower anywhere because it's dry. And see, it's starting to do that here because the background had already dried a bit. So I'm going to re-wet this area. Grab my toilet paper and just dab that, and then same with the top here. So that should prevent the cauliflowering, and it gave us some nice like lighter textures, soft textures to it. So we have to let this jumble of nothing dry, and then let's hope that it all comes together, because right now it looks kind of bad. Before I let this dry, I'm going to take a bit more black and just add it to this section here. This is going to cauliflower. Ay, ay, ay. I can already see it doing that. Why did I do that? This is when I try too hard. In the words of a hater on my channel many, many months ago, know when to stop. That quote has lived in my head for a very long time, and I love it. I'm gonna let this dry. So this is hopefully dry. I'm a bit bummed that that gray that we applied there has faded. It's not as dark anymore, because I was gonna paint a white fence there. I got like this inspirational idea, but maybe we'll still try it. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to take brown mixed with black, and I'm going to be painting our fence, our focal point. And I don't know if that's the right word to use, but that's what we're going to use. So this fence is going to make this whole thing come together, I hope. We're going to start in this light green part over here. And I'm not even going to try painting like this cross-hatched fence that I painted in another tutorial that I ended up erasing because it looked quite bad. I'm just gonna do my classic picket. Is it even a picket fence? I don't know. I don't know what the names of fences are, but you're just painting a bunch of these little sticks basically. And I want this fence to look very broken down. So even though this is supposed to be our like detailed focal point, I still want it to look abstract and effortless. So this, it's gonna be kind of just a plank laying on the ground there. That. And the other thing I'm going to do is we have to paint our trees, right? So these are the trees that we're reflecting. So I'm going to have one kind of coming up from here, and our little branches are just going to go in every direction. So there's one tree. I do want to put like a gray base on it to make it a bit more gentle. And then have another one here. I'm trying to very, very roughly follow the shape of our shadows that we painted. I know we kind of did that in reverse. I really like painting abstract paintings because you paint this really, I mean, the best way I can describe it is a blob of a painting, and then you add like super simple details, and everything suddenly makes sense. Everything comes together. So I have been a big fan of painting these kinds of paintings recently, and if you follow me and watch a lot of my tutorials, then you will know that there have been a lot of these types lately. It's just so fun. It's so much funner than painting like something like I did a watermelon painting or a fruit painting or a squirrel painting or something, and it like you have to really focus on the details and make sure that you're painting everything properly. But this is just like do whatever you want and it'll somehow come together in the end. Typically we have just kind of one focal point, like the fence for me is usually that thing, but this one's a tiny bit different. So I'm also going to paint just like a white fence in the background here. That is barely visible, and I'm using white acrylic paint for this. I think I I didn't put enough. And actually we can even, whoops, use a little bit of white and add some accents on our fence posts if you wish, if you dare. I really like this subtle white in the background. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a fence, but it's, you know, something is there. So just because I want to make this a little bit more dramatic, I'm going to just flick some black paint to make it look a little more gloomy or something. And in any other time I probably would have added like a branch going across, but that would be too much. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna know when to stop, and we're gonna stop there. I'm gonna peel the tape off that I put in the corners. And there we have it, our gloomy abstract field painting. Let me know what you guys thought of this one, what you would have done differently. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.